Hey everybody, Jay here from Modern Mississauga, and we're looking at the 2018 Mazda CX-3. We're just outside of Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, at the second oldest lighthouse on the island. And it's a nice, quiet, remote place with the exception of an older Ford Escape, which just showed up. But that's okay, we'll try not to get it in the shop. So this is the front-wheel drive GX entry-level model, but with a couple of quick upgrades, it's not quite as entry-level looking as you may think. For $959, you can upgrade to the alloy 17-inch wheels. So there's a bit of a dust rising here. For $959, you get the upgraded 17-inch alloy wheels. There's a little more dust. Very cool thing Mazda did is they did not give us black door handles, which is kind of a telltale sign of a base model from a mile away. Not much has changed from 2017 to 2018. Mild refresh. But it still looks good. You'll notice the black wheel arches all around. Very, very cool stance. No fog lights because it's the base model. No LEDs. You know what? It doesn't matter. We did fine before they came out. We'll do fine without them on this 2018 CX-3. As we keep moving around the exterior, there's that Ford Escape. We'll just get that out of the shot. No shot against you, Ford, but this is a Mazda video. So it's got a cool little stance. It's their compact SUV, so it still seats 5 fairly comfortably. 4 is the most comfortable number of passengers you'll have. For the past, what do we have, Saturday, past 5 days, it's been Laura and I in the car, and it's been pretty comfortable. Plenty of room for our suitcases and little bits of food and this and that, and everything you need for a road trip. Trunk space is 452 liters with the seats up, and 1,528 with the seats down. I'll just open the trunk really quickly. There's a brochure for PEI. So that's with the trunk up, sorry, the seats up. I'll quickly just duck around and show you how easy it is. Just a little latch there. Down it goes. And that's one side. We'll quickly slide to the other side and do that second latch. And there is your upgrade, as I said before, from 452 to 1528. Fair amount of space back there. You put a couple of suitcases, maybe 3, and a few carry-ons and groceries and sports bags and music equipment and whatever else it is that you want to put back there. Again, with the red sands in PEI. Car's a little on the dirty side. It was dirty from pretty much the first couple of clicks I pulled into, or that I drove into for the province. But hey, that's okay. We'll get it cleaned up before it goes back to Mazda Canada. So just one more quick look around the outside, and we'll be back with the inside in a couple of seconds. And we're back with the 2018 Mazda CX-3 GX trim front wheel drive. Push button start, just got the car going. What I love that Mazda did is they spec'd it for me with a manual transmission, good old 6-speed. There's the gear shifter, there's my charger cord. I love this. Pretty much all Mazda manual transmissions are very, very smooth. They're fantastic and fun to drive. From the Mazda 3 to the 6 and now the CX-3. Absolutely wonderful. 146 horse, 146 pound-feet of torque through a 4-cylinder, 2-liter engine. It's not, I wouldn't say it's weak at passing. Just remember to downshift, get that extra boost, and off you go. Through the hills of PEI, it's been fantastic. It's been fun to drive. I haven't had any problems with any of the passing myself personally. Again, just remember to downshift, get that extra boost, get your revs up a little bit so you have that passing power. 7-inch touchscreen. There's the mute button because I don't want any sound during this video from the radio, and all of that is controlled through your HDMI commander. So your music, your home screen navigation, your back button, and your volume. And I love that Mazda put the volume controls on the left side of the wheel, which is to me where they should be, because if they're on the right side of the wheel, as I've said before, you may as well just use the same hand. Yes, I know there's no traditional volume knob here, as there are in some other cars, but it's down here. I mentioned before on the exterior side of the video that this is the GX, and I think I mentioned it at the beginning of this video as well. But with a couple of upgrades, it's not so base model after all. So we went through the 17-inch alloys on the outside. Navigation is a $425 option, and that's that little SD card there. And the map is pretty handy and pretty easy to use. Laura and I used it extensively for what's today? Today's Saturday afternoon, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I'm going to use it tomorrow to get from Charlottetown over the Confederation Bridge over to Halifax. The touchscreen's great. The rotary dial is also easy to use as well. What other options are there? Right, the center armrest. It was a big complaint of mine when the car first showed up a couple of years ago. I drove it to Ottawa when it first came out, and I had to put a big tall plastic bottle of water here, one of those big I think 2-liter ones, just to have somewhere to rest my arm. But for $300, Mazda has installed an armrest right there. Fantastic, wonderful. It makes a world of difference when you're doing long trips, and it's plenty long enough for me to do the shifting, keep my elbow pretty much right at there. Can you guys see that? My elbow right at the edge, right, and reach the gear shift, and then back to hands on the wheel, because you never keep your hand on the gear shift when you're in motion, because, well, that's just not good, and you have potential for shifting gears. And anyways, you know how the rest of this goes. Center display, very easy to figure out and use and read. You have pretty much a one dial system, which gives you your kilometers per hour, miles per hour. You got your gas gauge on the right, along with temperature and your range. You can also spit out average liters, current liters per 100 kilometers. I'm not driving, so we don't know. 57 kilometers is your average. Mazda says, according to their control testing, that you should be getting 7.0 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway and 9.0 in the city. I've done 7.6, or sorry, I've averaged 7.6 through 712 kilometers. Most of that's been out in the country with a little bit of city driving. Don't drive aggressively and your numbers will come straight down. RPMs, it's not a complaint really, just more of a, hey Mazda, could you make it a little bigger, I guess, or change the color of the actual dial from white to, I don't know, maybe red, but I get it that the theme's white, and I'm not an interior designer by any means, but that's just my 2 cents as a guy who's driven the car for 712.4 kilometers. Everything else is nice and easily laid out. Again, with the base model, there's a bit of an old school technology here, where it's not all buttons to change the temperature. You've got your old school dials for your hot, your cold, your fan speeds, and your directional choices there. You do have 2 USB ports, which come right there. You have your 112 right there for whatever it is you need, plus your auxiliary. So again, for a base model vehicle, this is pretty well spec'd out, and I really like the way it handles, it feels, it drives. In the rear, you have your 3 seats. You do not get that center armrest that comes down. Whatever. Some people will complain about it, some people won't. Where is that? Oh, sorry, there, it's pointing at the wrong thing. But you still have plenty of space for 2 adults comfortably, or 3 in a pinch. No sunroof, obviously, because it is a base model. I don't see it negatively, just that's what it is. It's the GX entry-level trim base model, and whatever it is you want to call it. Yeah, aside from that, everything else is good. That's a telltale sign of a base model thing. You have room for 6, you only get 2. Totally fine, no big deal. Traction control system on or off. And that's pretty much it for this side of it. So we got the outside covered, we got the inside covered. Steering wheel, very comfortable. It's not leather, it's just kind of hard plastic, but it's still fine. Cloth seats throughout. Let me see if there's anything else I can tell you about the car while we're inside of it. Nope, I think that's it. Love the manual transmission. I know I've mentioned it before, but I will mention it again. Very cool that it is available. I know it won't sell very well. Everyone wants to have the automatic transmission, but if you do opt for the manual and you are looking for something in the small/compact SUV market, please take a look at the 2018 CX-3. It's not taking any power away from it. It just, to me, it adds more of a fun and connectivity side from the driver to the vehicle. At least in PEI, and I'm sure in the city roads of the GTA, and really anywhere. Okay, well, that's enough about the inside of the car. We'll be right back with the on-road aspect. And we're back with the 2018 Mazda CX-3 GX front-wheel drive. This is the in-car portion, of course, as you can tell by the video. Usually I mount the camera to the sunroof, but there is no sunroof on this model. So I have improvised a bit, so we're doing a side shot, and hopefully this will pick up and be good. First time for everything, right? Right. As mentioned, it's a manual gearbox, and I love it. The gear shifts are very, very smooth. Again, 146 horsepower, 146 pound-feet of torque. Through a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. The car has a lot of get up and go to it, you know, given the size and the power and what it is. There's enough passing power if you do, and I mentioned this before, if you do the downshift to get that extra bit of a boost to it. Steering wheel may not be leather, but it's still very, very comfortable. And for a base model with a couple of extra specs, including the, I don't know if you can see it, but that $300 armrest is worth every single penny. Heated seats, doesn't have it, but to me it wouldn't make a difference. Just wear long johns or thicker pants, or I don't know, something. My first few cars didn't have any of these fun luxuries that most cars come with today. But I gotta say, for the 2018 Mazda CX-3, again, even though it's a base model, I know I keep going on about it, but it's very rare that media cars come spec'd as base models. But I think this is going to be a really good seller for Mazda. Again, I think there's maybe a little less than a couple grand in options on the car. $959 for the 17-inch alloys. I would happily do without them. But I would pay the $300 for the armrest, and I would pay the $425 for the navigation. It definitely takes up to that mid-level feel. Cornering, handling is great out here in PEI. There are lots of twists and turns to be had and to be experienced, and every single one of them was fun. Mazdas also have that general fun to drive factor that rates higher than most of its competitors in the class. You know, not a shot against anybody, but just Mazda has that certain way of tuning their cars, whether it's the old RX-8, the MX-5, or this, the 2018 CX-3. I think that's pretty much it as far as the interior goes, or sorry, the driving portion goes. If you're in the market for a compact SUV, definitely check this one out. And try the manual gearbox. I know that, again, it's not going to be a popular seller. It may throw in, I know, I'm going to guess between 1 to 2% of all sales overall. But Mazda must have a reason for spending all this money, time, and research and development into equipping the new CX-3 with a manual gearbox. So hopefully that number creeps up to around 3 or 4%. We'll see. But the 6-speed manual is fun to drive. It's very smooth shifting. It's precise, as precise can be for this class of vehicle. If you have any questions or comments, please hit me up in the comment section of the video, or through the website or our email address, info@modernmississauga.com. Thank you so much for watching. I'll show my face. There I am, all the way from beautiful Prince Edward Island. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you later.